I went to the doctor and he said, don't eat anything fatty. And I said, what, like burgers and fries? And he said, no, I'm sorry. I meant don't eat anything fatty. Hello, everyone. Can you guess what day it is? It is the Folio Society Day. I got a box of books and I got to get these books unboxed. So when I placed this order, there were a handful of books that I wanted to get. Cat's Cradle was one of them, 1984, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I already had a limited edition, and I wanted to get a regular edition of that book. So that is also included in this big box set here. So I got 4 books in here plus a free gift, and I'm gonna get them out, get them opened up, and show you what I got. But I'm gonna cheat. That's what I do. I cheat. I'm not gonna show you all in one video. That would be giving it away. So what we're gonna do is I'll open this mother up. We'll take a look at one of the books, and then a different date we'll go over another one and another one and another one, and we'll show them all, give them with all their time, and that's just how I'm gonna do it. Hope you like my video. So first things first, I honestly have no idea which one's on top, and that's the one that we're going to look at right off the bat. So let me get this thing opened up. I got a big box and 4 books, and I'm hoping that our friends at the Folio Society did me a good favor and packaged this stuff up right. The last couple of books that I got from the Folio Society were packaged well, and I didn't have damage to the books. So we're hoping that that streak continues here, and hoping that what I got is nice, ready for the shelf, and truly exciting. So what I want to know is which one is first. I didn't show you what kind of packing material we got in. I don't know, have no idea what you'd call that. It's paper. It's got some neat groove designs in it, and I ended up with what looks like 4 books wrapped up in this stuff here. What could it be? What could it be? Let's see if I can get it open. I'm making a mess already. We got 2 books in each stack, so we'll set one aside. And I'm gonna try to get one of these out without spoiling it. Which one's next? Unwrapping and unwrapping and unwrapping and unwrapping. Bae, if my stuff comes in without damage, I'll unwrap all day if that's what it takes. So let's get, we're almost there, folks. Almost to a book, the first book. And what's it gonna be? What could it possibly be? It could be anything. Unwrapping, still unwrapping. And I think you might have seen, in the first book in my set is, never mind, just kidding. The first book in my set that I open up is George Orwell's 1984. This is a book that was assigned to a lot of us in school, and I read this book. It meant a lot to me, still means a lot to me. I've got a variety of versions of this book, including Suntup editions, old paperbacks, and different things like that. But it's a book that means a lot to a lot of people. George Orwell, 1984 fame, as well as Animal Farm fame, was another Orwell book that I did and do truly love. But 1984 was my first exposure to the author. And if Folio Society makes a book, makes a version, an edition of a book that I love, I got to have it. And this is one of those deals where I didn't have it. And I kept waiting and waiting. I don't know what I was waiting for. Knowing that I wanted it, but not buying it. And finally I had an excuse to place an order, and I added this one in, and now I can no longer say, I don't know why I don't have this book on my shelf, because it's just about to go into the Folio Society collection here. And just one more version of George Orwell's 1984. I also need to get, if I can ever find one in the condition that I want, at the price that I want, a Folio Society copy of Animal Farm. I just don't have that one yet. I did order the Suntup Editions numbered edition of Animal Farm, as well as an advanced review copy from Suntup Editions that I have in my collection. I'd like to get that Folio Society version. It's an older one, and maybe one day they'll make a newer one. But in that case, I'd have to get both. So let's take a look here. We got our 1984 by George Orwell. You got a nice slipcase. It's a blocked slipcase. And let's take a look at our cloth-bound book. Let's get it out of the slipcase. One of the things that I love so much about the Folio Society is the slipcases. If I had my wish, every publisher of books would put books in slipcases. I just love them. They look much better on the shelves. They help to protect our books some. They keep our spines more stiff and straight and things like that. There's just all good things to come with a slipcase. Having a little bit of a design on there gives it character, and I do truly like it. So the cover of the book, I got stuff in my way that's got me standing off to the side. Let's address that. The cover of our book looks really good, and I already showed you the spine. Now let's take a look at the inside of this book. I don't know. One of the things, there's our end papers. I know Folio Society fans, collectors, lovers can be kind of touchy on print runs. I've started collecting books. As a book collector, I wanted first edition hardcover books of my favorite books from my favorite authors. And then at some point I realized that not just a first edition was what I was looking for. I wanted a first print first edition, which basically the first print was the first run of books that was sent out. A lot of times if that run was already sold or spoken for, or there were more demands for the book and the publisher was out, they would make a second print run, and those might be called first edition, second print. Now, with the Folio Society collectors, these are not, I mean, these books have been out, a lot of these books have been out for a long, long time. So these are not first editions, and some people say then first print is pointless, who cares? But I still have some of that stuck in me. You want to get the first print run of the book that you're collecting, whether it be the soft cover, the hardcover, the Folio Society edition. So I tend to look for that, although I know it doesn't mean as much. That's one of the very first things I want to find out is what is the printing of the book. When I buy them on the secondary market, a lot of times I'll try to get the first print runs, but eventually when I buy from the publisher, you kind of just say, I'm going to get what they give me, and we'll see what we get. So when I open up this one here says it is a fourth printing 2020. So what they're shipping now, at least what they ship me right now, is a fourth printing of this book, and I expected so. I didn't expect that this book would be a first print. I'm sure they've been selling 1984 for a long, long time. Let's take a look at our interior illustrations. This book is illustrated by Jonathan Burton, and there's the very first one. The first one we see here. Very nice. I like it. I liked the artwork that I saw of this book, but I didn't see very much of it. Not that there's not very much. I didn't see very much of it. I saw very little of what to expect from the book. Man, it looks neat. That's what we're here for. We're here to see what it looks like when you actually get it on the shelf. So if you're a fan of this book and a fan of this publisher, and you want to know what to expect were you to buy a book from them, this is what we're here for. This is what we're doing. And we got, I think there's 6 interior illustrations in here. I don't recall now, but they look very nice, and I'm pleased with what I got from the Folio Society. This is a book that I really dig, one that I read a long, long time ago, and it's kind of a special book to me for a variety of reasons. But I want to have all the best versions of this book, and that's the way I am with books that I actually care about, books that I like, books that I care about. I want to have all the best versions, not just to say so-and-so made the A#1 ultimate version and that's the only one that matters. I want to have different people make nice copies of this book, I want them. And the Folio Society has done it, and they usually do it. Something like that. There's more than 6. I think I said 6, and I believe I've found more than 6 interior illustrations already, and I might have missed some. There's always a chance that my fingers doing the walking pass something by, and I don't want to give spoilers to the book for people that haven't read it. But if you haven't read it, what's the holdup? This last image kind of leaves you with a lasting impression, a lasting feeling. And this book will do the same thing. A book that makes you think. A book that helps you to use your imagination, but also helps to point out the possibilities. And that's where I'll leave it at that. Very happy with the Folio Society in this edition. And glad that I got it. I'm glad that I can put this one on my shelf in the Folio Society collection. With that being said, I can't think of any more lies to tell, so... C'est la vie, baby.